Action.
Action.
We don't have a name for this, do we?
No. Long and short, we wanted to talk about SCP bullshit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
I'm
it.
sure there'll be a name at some point.
Probably. But for now, no name. Hello. Should we introduce ourselves?
The No Name Podcast?
There's already a thing called the No Name Podcast.
Fuck.
Everything's been done all the time.
So if you're unfamiliar with who we are, because you probably are, my name is Jeremiah. These two idiots will refer to me as Gerald, probably. The beautiful man in this top right here is Nick, and then the one below me is Rami. For some reason, he's doing an eyebrow thing. We were just
Point me out like that.
Yeah, I'm going to, you fuck. We were just talking about SCPs and stuff of that nature, and we realized that we want to discuss it, and so we're going to record it and put it online, because why the fuck not? Said all my TikTok fans.
TikTok fans. Jody, you consider yourself a big TikTok star, huh?
Dude, I'm the biggest. I'm the biggest TikTok star. Also, I am
Jeremiah, have you posted a
extremely
single
sick.
TikTok ever?
2 TikToks, actually. I am
Yeah,
extremely sick, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
now, Gerald, if you're not sick, episode 2, we're already inconsistent.
okay, well, get fucked, idiot. I'll talk like this the entire time. I'll just talk like this on purpose the next time.
Why are you fucking talking like that, dude? What the fuck?
Like that, dude? Fuck, man.
You're a weirdo, dude. Being fucking weird.
So, I think that an easy way to start this out would be to discuss the reason why we each, in our own right, like SCP or got into the SCP Foundation in any condition. Is that a fair
God.
hit to do?
I don't know why I got into this shit.
You don't remember? You don't remember the first SCP?
No clue. Genuinely no clue how I
Wow.
stumbled upon this.
I think I remember.
Like, it's
some
been
memory.
so long.
I know why I
I've
did.
been reading this shit for so long.
Why did you?
Wait. First off, I think Rami wasn't like one of the first things you did is that you were like in a Gmod server for SCP.
That was not one of the first things I did, but I've played a lot of SCPRP.
Yeah, that's fair. But no, the reason why I got into SCP is pretty simple. So I am in the army, right? And I joined that about 4 years ago now, I think is when I first joined. And when I was in basic training, I had this buddy who was really, really cool. I'm not going to dox him, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But he got hurt quite a bit because they gave him like really shit boots. So his boots were like 2 or 3 sizes too small for his feet. So it would like literally rub off the back of his heels. It would rub off like patches of skin constantly. Because we'd be marching for a long, long time, right? Motherfucker was a trooper. He kept fucking going. But pretty much they just kind of assigned me to stay with him the entire time. And I did not mind because we would stay in the same it's called the foxhole, right? So pretty much a little area that you dig out, you stay in with your buddy, and you get ready to shoot or whatever. And this is just basics. There was nothing out there. We're just shooting blanks. But we were both like really tired, but we had to stay awake. And the way that we stayed awake was that he just started telling me about SCPs. And I was very unfamiliar with what SCP was, right? I knew about it kind of from you. You had told me like a long time ago about some of them. Like I knew what Shy Guy was. I knew a few things, but I wasn't very like knowledgeable about the subject. And then he just kept talking to me about all these different SCPs. And one of the first ones specifically being the, I think it was the Flesh That Hates. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
But is this one of my old waters or one of my new waters? I think it's one of my new waters.
This is great content.
I think it's new. I have so many different water bottles in the entire place. But yeah, so he just started telling me about these different things called SCPs, and I became fascinated with them. And I think the reason why I became so attached to them is because I it was nighttime, and it was one of the few things that like I remember specifically about basic that gave me like real joy. Like I actually enjoyed the experience more than anything else. And so we just talked about SCP every night whenever we would go to sleep. Or at least one of us would, like, when we were supposed to be staying awake for the first like 2 or 3 hours, right? And then we'd switch on and off. We'd talk about SCP. And so I don't know, that just really gave me like a drive to want to know more about it. And then when I got into like basic and AIT and stuff, I got out of basic into AIT and then out of AIT in the army. I started listening to the Vulcan at night. Also shout out to Vulcan, my goat, hero. Um, and I also just started reading on my
What a
own.
beast indeed.
But yeah, I think those were like the main reasons why I started like really getting at least interested in SCP more than just surface level, you know?
Mm-hmm. I do have to say, before we get too far into this, we need to move into a private channel before somebody joins.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a
Let
fair
me-
call.
Let me move us.
Is there a private channel?
There is. There
You,
definitely
ju-
is.
you guys just need to turn your cameras back on.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Should be all good though.
They're getting confused, bro. The
Momentary
order.
interruption.
Nick's gotta turn his camera back on you.
No,
This is
he'll be
gonna be a
in the
jump
right order
cut. They're
once
not
he
gonna even
turns it
know.
on.
They're not gonna have any clue, bro.
Yeah.
Um,
Momentary interruption, but we're back.
But yeah, so I don't know
Yeah,
what
I
else.
mean, Nick, what did you find out? What got you started?
It's hard to follow Gerald's shit, dude. Because he always has like a crazy fucking story.
I just keep fucking talking. There's nothing. I could have said that in 2 sentences. I just kept
Yeah,
talking.
right. There's
I could have been
actual
like,
story behind
yeah,
it.
in the army, my buddy talked about it, so that's why I liked it. Like, I literally could have just done that, but I
That's
go in
fair,
depth, bro. I go in
It
depth.
is what it is. It is what it is.
It's my toes, bro. They're falling off.
First guy I really knew about. I was maybe from watching like a Vanoss video or some random stupid childish
Mhm.
bullshit like that. It's like the little peanut guy, little 096 is not.
Oh
Mhm.
shit! Yeah,
That's
fucking from the original
173.
game.
173, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
173 was the first guy I ever knew about, even a little bit, and eventually I just got into Volgan as well, seeing all the different kind of crazy shit going on. I think the first one I really got into and liked was the I don't remember which one it is. It might be like 5000 or some bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
but the big ass eel.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
yes,
big
dude.
ass
That's
It's my favorite one.
that's 3000.
Dude,
Yeah,
SCP-3000,
And,
nightmare fuel. Completely agree
I
with you.
love that shit. It's so fucking cool, dude.
Dude.
Huge fucking eel.
The
dude.
guy who's like, he gives off the compound for their anesthetics.
Isn't that their
Amnestics,
amnestics are made from
amnestics.
like his stuff? Like his
Yeah.
like
Well,
his
one
compound?
kind of amnestics.
It's like the basic amnestics, right?
Might be the strongest
Um,
one.
Is it the I don't think so, right?
Pretty
there's,
strong.
like,
It should just be class C amnestics.
There's a lot of different drugs in this fucking universe. I just found out about this one drug in the form of they usually give it in the form of a cigarette loopy that makes you go backwards in time,
Oh fuck.
like in your own timeline. Like you go back like 30 minutes.
So
you
makes
can retry
various.
something.
Okay, I gotcha. It makes various amnestics, by the way, just to like clarify. It's not just one specific one. I also don't know if class C amnestics exists. I think I just said that.
Class C
podcast.
definitely does, but yeah, that's not one of the ones that it makes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the list now. Still a good bit of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I figured everything out. Trying to whenever I was getting into it and all that shit.
Yeah. Do y'all remember the
Yeah.
first full good video you ever watched or listened to? I do.
Dude, you keep asking me if I personally remember if I personally remember anything, and it's crazy because I genuinely don't remember how I got into this. Like, it could have been Containment Breach. I know I was around when that came out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got into SCP when it was only maybe series 2 or 3 out.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty early. I've watched them drop, like, we're up to series 9 now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy amount of SCPs. And I just genuinely don't know how I got into this shit. Maybe that's
What
SCP in itself.
what draws you to it? Let's put it that way. What makes you so interested in SCP?
It's so fucking
Uh,
uncomfortable.
cosmic horror.
Yeah, it's just completely
My favorite
uncomfortable.
kind of horror. I don't really like much horror, but I love cosmic horror.
The unknown.
Yeah.
Really, really, really like. I've. Excuse me. Oh my goodness.
Bless you.
I'm gonna cut that out. I've always been a
A lot of
fan
cuts in this shit.
of cryptids in general, right? One of my favorite stories from like when I was in in basic training was like for some reason like we had a night where we were just all sitting around in the barracks like fucking like bathroom bay or whatever, just shooting the shit and talking, and we just talked about like creepy stories for like fucking an hour and a half. People just telling stories about things that they witnessed and like the supernatural that they've seen. So I've always had like this fascination with it, like because I have personal stories that I might talk about later that I don't want to talk about now, about shit that happened to me when I was a kid and to my sisters and stuff. That's fucking freaky, right? And pretty much ever since then, I've always had like a fascination with the macabre in general. And SCP just fulfills that more than anything else does because there's just so much. Like, I don't know if you ever read like creepypastas when you were a kid or anything like that,
Oh yeah, I did.
but I feel like SCP is like that, but on fucking steroids. It is such a step up with so much more information and so much
It's
more
that,
like,
but well written.
yeah, well written documentation. The way they write it is just such an interesting concept, right? And some of them you almost believe, like in a way, like it almost like drives you to like have this as a part of the knowledge base, like your normal knowledge base, right? Like we could say, um, fucking Andrew Jackson was one of like the foremost people in United States history. Alongside that, for me, is also like, oh, this is what counterclass is, what Euclid is, right? So those things like those knowledges are coincide. They're similar to me. Also, Rami, you just went hella blurry. But like that's the interesting part about them, about SCP in general, is that it almost makes you like want to believe in these stories. Like they're that cool. Like they're that in depth. That's what fascinates me the most about them. I think it's like there's the unknown, but they intentionally make it known in a weird way, right? Like you feel like you're a part of something that you're not supposed to see. It's really really
Yeah.
cool to me.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point. They're like, they gotta protect us. Honestly, it'd be pretty cool if the Foundation was real and there really are monsters and we're being protected from it.
Or that are being protected from us. That'd be interesting.
No, I think probably the ones being protected here.
Yeah.
Um,
Just shut down immediately.
Well, I mean, I got a question for you.
fuck yes, and I'm out here saying no and
So, you know about the Uncanny Valley, right?
sure.
So, there's a lot of weird theories about the Uncanny Valley. It's like, why do humans specifically have the ability to see, like,
Fuck.
humanoid faces? It's your lights, by the way. Your lights being weird. Humanoid faces and things, right? Why can we look at a door and, like, see a face? Why do we have this ability for pattern recognition for things that are almost human but aren't quite, right? Like, why do we have that ability? And I was talking to a buddy about this actually. The assumption about it is like the only reason why we would have that is if at one point in our evolutionary history, right, there was a predator, a super predator of some sorts that was able to mimic humans in some capacity.
Yeah, I saw that TikTok as well.
I actually didn't see a TikTok for this. This was just me reading something offline. But I mean, it could be like it could be theorized that it was like um one of the derivatives of like cavemen, whatever. I can't remember the exact name of it, but was it
That's what
Gigantopithecus?
I've heard.
Was it Gigantopithecus?
I mean, I just think it was like all the other cavemen, and they're out there being cannibals and stuff, and
No,
we aren't.
Gigantopithecus was a fucking giant
We,
ass primate. It could have
dude,
been,
I'm not a caveman.
but yeah. So that's like one of the assumptions, right? Like that's just interesting to me. That's just a side note. I know it has nothing to do with SCP in general, but like I was gonna say that kind of reminds me slightly of like some of the like things that would be an SCP, right? Some of the things that are like um not the Wendigo. What's it called? The something walker? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Skinwalker?
This a
Skinwalkers are
skinwalker,
real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen those guys outside.
I mean,
They
you ever
walk
see that
around
chick
on
from
like four
fucking
legs and they got hoofs and
yeah. You ever
some
see
of
that
them have
chick from
antlers.
the
Is it
fucking
deer?
like um Peaky Blinders, the one with the eyes that are like this? She looks like a fucking fish.
No, I
Which
don't
one?
watch British stuff.
I can't remember her name.
Which I mean,
But she's
was it
pretty
the art?
famous. But not to be rude to her or anything. She is beautiful. It's just a very odd kind of beauty. But like, she gives me uncanny valley vibes. I can't remember her name. Um, I girl. Let me see if this pops up.
Out.
All right.
No, it does not pop up. It's fine.
You blinders eye girl.
Yeah, that's what I looked up specifically. I can't remember her name, but it's fine.
Jamie, can you look up Peaky Blinders Eye Girl?
I did look that up because I thought that it would give me what I wanted.
All right, thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie. Shut up. All
You're
right.
actually Jamie from the Joe Rogan Experience.
So, I feel like we've discussed a decent amount about what got us into SCPs, right? What do you think is the class of SCP, right, that really draws your interest more than anything else? It could be as simple as you want it to be, or like, the most basic pitch answer, or it could be something more in depth. What are the class of like SCPs that you actually find the most enjoyable to listen to, the most interesting to listen to?
You mean class as in documented class or class as in like kind of SCP, like
Classes in like
ideas?
Keter, fucking Euclid, fucking like
Uh,
like very simple ones.
It's hard to say there. I mean, the usual answer is going to be Keter because
Yeah, everyone's
I
always
mean
like, "Oh, Keter is
that's
the
the
most."
scariest one, you know.
Yeah. Well, not
That's the one
necessarily.
well, there's a little bit more, but I mean, more often than not, like the scariest you're gonna get is, oh fuck.
Well,
You
there's
know,
some
I
Keter
mean,
classes that aren't very scary, you know?
I don't
yeah.
think that the classes necessarily have to do with how scary it is. Have you guys heard the box analogy?
To
I
a
don't
point. I
think
mean, I
so.
know what the classes entail,
hmm
but go ahead.
So it's just like it's just about like how to classify an SCP. It's like if you can lock it in a box and leave it alone and nothing bad will happen, it's safe. If you lock it in a box, leave it alone, and you're not sure what will happen, it's Euclid. If you lock it in a box and it easily escapes, then it's Keter. If it is the
Peter.
box, it's Thaumiel. If it doesn't need a box, if it used to be in a box but it doesn't need it, it's neutralized. If it that happened because of the foundation, it's decommissioned. Um I can finish reading this or I can stop here.
You're
It
good.
goes
I
on to
understand the
explain the
box
other
analogy now,
ones.
but no, that makes sense.
But like it's not really based on how scary it is. Something
Yeah.
can be Keter and because it easily escapes, but it's not necessarily like gonna kill someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that like time traveler guy Keter?
Yeah, the Reluctant Dimension Hopper.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he was Keter. I don't know if he is now. I think he's safe now.
he's chill.
But he's just a chill motherfucker, dude.
And there's
He's a
some
give a
really
fuck.
scary concepts that are classified as safe because they're not really gonna bother us anymore.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, Nick, if you want to talk about like scary stuff, though, the scariest class is probably Apollyon stuff because those tend to lead to the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are interval scenarios. Yeah. Like that one with the fucking when the sun got really hot or some bullshit.
When day breaks.
Yeah, when
That's
day
one of
breaks.
the
Yeah.
proposals for 001.
Yeah.
I
I remember hearing about that one and being like, ooh.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, that one's
Could you tell
good.
me what that one is?
Oh,
You got that, Remy? Because I can't.
sure. Yeah, it's one of the proposals for SCP-1. It's pretty good one. Let me pull it up so I have a reference. There you go. It's SD Locke's proposal, titled "When Day Breaks," and it's kind of It's a really good read, so I don't really want to spoil it all. But the sun goes red and turns people into goop.
Ooh. Yeah, that does
Goop that
sound
talks.
interesting.
Goop, yeah, goop that tries to get you to turn into goop.
Oh,
Yeah, like they're still alive, but they're just trying to get you to become goop as well.
that's
They
interesting.
also merge together like droplets of water.
That's fucking horrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be.
So I remember, I finally was able to figure out which one was the first one that I like knew about that really fucked with me the most. The Crooked Man.
Yeah, the Crooked Man's pretty creepy.
The Crooked Man is like, if you ever get the chance, it's one of the longer ones on Vulcan's channel, right?
Yeah.
It is explained beautifully, read perfectly, right? That shit will keep you up at night kind of thing. Incredible. Incredible story. Also, fuck that shit, I'm pissed about the dog. Is the best way to put it. Rami, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm pissed about the dog. Fuck that shit. Are you familiar with the Crooked Man at all, Nick?
By no means.
Would y'all
You
like to
should read
discuss
it.
the Crooked Man in any ways?
I
Go
have
ahead,
to figure
Gerald.
it out.
So, the Crooked Man, and I am okay with spoiling this because it's been a while, in some capacity. If you don't want to be spoiled, please skip ahead to whatever timestamp I put in the video to say, like, you can skip ahead to this. But the Crooked Man pretty much is a interesting SCP where it starts out. Let me just pull up the reference documentation so I don't completely fuck it up.
Do you need the number?
I shouldn't.
I can get you it real quick. It's 783.
It is 73. So the description of the Crooked Man goes as such, right? SCP-783, also known as There Was a Crooked Man, or simply the Crooked Man, is a supporting antagonist in the SCP Foundation series. The entity is completely unseen, and the only visual element of its presence is the twisted, broken, and elongated form of other people and buildings it has interacted with. SCP-783's crimes are done solely in Tembe, England. Exploring a mass grave full of elongated bodies has shown that SCP-783 controls or simply resides in another parallel world. So, pretty much what this motherfucker does, right, is he usually goes to a person's home at a certain time of night. And they did use D-Class for this scenario to test out, like, if this theory worked, right? I am pretty sure that he comes in at a certain... If I fuck this up, I apologize. I'll correct it later. But comes in at a certain point in time, and he goes into a person's home when there's only one person in there, right? If you're alone. And then what he does to you is he fucking comes into your home, and then he'll touch you, right? And his arms are all weird and fucking whacked out, is the way it's described. It's never technically been seen. But whatever he touches on your body will break, and then it'll start to elongate, and then break again. And he'll do that to all of your limbs until eventually, like, most people just die from the fucking blood loss and everything else. But pretty much you turn into this amalgamated mass of a person where your arms, your legs, your fingers, everything are just elongated and broken until they're like tens, 20s of feet long, right?
Broken and healed.
He
by the
breaks them,
way.
heals them, and then re-breaks them, and they grow from the point of breaking, right?
Oh, I'm gonna fucking... That would suck so much.
It's
dick,
fucking
dude.
freaky because you're alive the entire time, right? He doesn't kill you. Usually you die from your wounds later. But it's so fucked up. It's terrifying. And then the place that he resides in, that he comes out of, quote unquote, comes out of, right? Is this
In
like...
a realm down there.
Is this mass grave where they sent a D-Class personnel down. And in their documentation, they did two things. They sent a D-Class personnel. I don't remember if they sent a C-Class, but it was somebody who was kind of like an expert in this type of shit. And the first one they sent down was a D-Class. I think he went down either with somebody or by himself. And he had to like climb his way where the gravity shifted at one point. He fell first and then it shifted upwards. And he had to climb through these like mass amalgamation of like elongated, broken fucking bodies until he got into a parallel world that was like really similar to the town that was on the other side, I believe, or it was a forest. But pretty much like in that realm, he is the god of that realm, right? Like at one point, the D-class personnel realizes that this giant thing that he thinks is a tree is really just a long finger of this motherfucker. And then he hears a scream. It fucking slams down beside him. I think it cuts out before he completely like dies or whatever. But yeah, that is horrifying. And I was talking about the dog, and that shit fucked me up because this lady goes down there at one point, and she tries to figure out everything that's happening and like document it and get like real documentation on the situation. She's supposed to be an expert in the scenario, and her dog is supposed to be really good at like tracking SCPs and whatnot. The dog fucking dies,
Damn.
and it pissed me off. I think she also dies, but I'm not quite sure. That might be something that is like not technically quantified, but it was in one of the journals, like where it did the audio journals, like what was going on, and so yeah, that shit both fucked me up and also got me hooked on like really starting to like understand and like be like, oh my gosh, this is such an interesting dynamic. I want to learn more. So
Yeah. I mean, that's a good one. It's
mhm,
creepy, and it's got great additional tales to go along with it,
mhm.
to really build upon the story. Um, I don't know what else to add to it, honestly.
That's fair.
Completely overblown right now.
Hmm. I mean, to be fair, like there's a lot of different SCPs out there, and I feel like some of them are like goofy
There
and silly and
are.
funny, right? And that's one of the cool parts about it. But like, I feel like the reason why those SCPs that are like fucked up fascinate me the most is just because like it's almost like reading horror novels without having to like read a horror novel, and like you can almost like stand behind the screen of it. You don't really get as deeply entrenched to it because all of this is like in the past or whatever, right? Like all these stories that are being described, they're supposed to be out there, but they're more of like a scientific description of them in a way. So you almost feel like a research
Yeah,
assistant yourself. Um, it adds
for
a layer of like
sure.
safety. It's like watching Subnautica, right? Like Subnautica's fucking terrifying, and when you play it, you're like, oh, I don't like this shit. But when you watch it, you can actually watch it, and you're like, oh, this is awesome because it adds like a layer of safety in a way. Like I'm not reading
I
the book.
couldn't agree less.
Really, you can't watch
When I
Subnautica?
play when I play Subnautica, I go, "Oh my god, I love this game. I love being under the ocean.
Nope.
This is so
I have
cool."
thalassophobia, so I can't do it. I can watch it.
I
I
love
cannot play
the
it.
ocean.
I
I wanted
cannot
to
play
be
it,
a
dude.
marine biologist. That'd be pretty hard to do and be scared of the ocean, you know?
I'm not scared of the ocean. I am scared of what's in the ocean. Is the best way to put it.
My brother and everybody in my life has always
Fish.
been like, dude, you need to go be a fucking underwater welder. And I'm always like, well, there's multiple reasons why that's a horrible idea.
Just getting
I
sucked
mean,
into
I
the
mean,
fucking pipe,
mainly because
something
that's just like
busts.
horribly hard work.
not only that,
Well,
like,
those are bell divers, Gerald.
No, no, no. Underwater welders, right? When you're welding those
No, Gerald, the story you're talking about though, those guys were in a diving bell,
no, I'm not talking about
welding and
that
working inside of a
specifically.
bell, not like compression diving.
No, I'm talking about compression divers working on welding, right? If the line pops or whatever and the oxygen
fucked.
sucks you in, you can die, right? You at least can break something. There's
Hey,
possibilities
Gerald,
from
A
that
how
shit.
long
lot
does
of
that
something.
happen?
I don't know. I've heard
The
stories.
worst part is really the decompression and the compression phases where you have to sit there for days on
Oh
end in a
yeah,
chamber on a boat being
dude,
decompressed. And if one of your friends dies while you do that, you got to sit with their dead body for that whole thing.
taking a shit out there, bro. That's
That shit
horrifying
would
to me.
suck.
Yo, what the fuck's with my camera,
Oh no,
bro?
that's probably the least bad part.
Just do
So
this
when
today,
I
do
wanted
that,
to
and
a marine biologist, the big thing I wanted to do was go to research things at the bottom of the ocean. I wanted to be a part of one of a few
maybe
NASA
move your
research
face
labs
closer.
that are at the bottom of the ocean.
What the fuck is wrong with Nick's camera? I'm listening to you, Rami, but Nick's camera's fucked up, bro. Oh,
Autofocus fucked
What?
on it.
yeah. How do you
Do
fix
you
Oh,
do you
autofocus?
have the Logitech one?
yeah.
Sometimes they just fuck up. Try and get your whole hand and then take it away.
Not slowly, just take it away. Oh,
Okay.
there we go. Nice!
Yeah.
Congratulations, boys. Our first technical fix. So, Rami, please
First
continue.
of many.
I mean, honestly, what I was talking about was kind of completely off topics.
Mm-hmm.
There's no topic here. It's fucking. We're just chill.
No, I think the topic is SCPs related stuff, and I was talking about being a real life marine researcher.
I was just saying, taking a shit out there during
That's fucking horrible.
stuff,
Dude,
bro.
angelfish pull up. It's over.
Yeah, they start biting at the
They
shit.
don't have them
They bite
that
at your
deep.
ass. It's awful.
Yeah, the fucking deep sea labs. You go to shit. You walk outside into the water. You follow a rope to a little area, and it's like a room that's open on the bottom. So you swim up, and you can stick your head into the air, and then you drop pant, and
How far
rest is
down are you with
history.
these? Typically, I know saturation diving is up to 1,000
a
feet,
little
right?
bit.
A little bit. Not too far.
I believe saturation's up to 1,000 feet.
Maybe. So the labs I'm talking about are Sea Lab 1, 2, and 3. And those, let's see, Sea Lab 1 is 192 feet. Sea Lab 2
Is that enough for light to like seep through?
205 feet. And Sea Lab 3 is 1,025 feet.
Fuck that.
Can light even go down 1,000 feet?
I mean, I don't know how. What is that in meters?
1,000 feet is.
I mean, it's
300, almost 300, 300 something meters.
I think so, yeah.
It's like within 300 meters. It's in that zone.
300 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 312 meters. 1,025 is 312
Okay,
meters.
well that's like in the Mesopelagic zone. You can still get like we call the Mesopelagic zone the Twilight Zone because there's less light, but there's still light in the Mesopelagic. It's once you get into the Bathopelagic zone where you really start getting dark.
Yeah.
That's why they call the Bathopelagic zone the Midnight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, the Epipelagic zone ends at 200 meters, and then the Mesopelagic zone ends at 1,000 meters. So 300 meters, you're like right at the top of that Mesopelagic. You're still getting light.
What's the best
Also,
aquatic SCP?
3,000.
I mean,
Or
yeah,
the one
that's
that
the
eats
one
your
that
fucking
comes
head
to
when you drink a water
mind.
bottle.
I don't know that one.
You guys don't know about that one?
No.
Yeah, there's one that's like, if any of the water from a certain body of water gets put in a bottle, or it might be if somebody knows about it. I can't remember.
I do know what you're talking about. It's
yeah,
if they
drink any of the water, they fucking
I think if they see it, like it'll start like randomly invading their dreams and shit. I know exactly what you're talking about. And then like if they're
So
near
you're describing multiple SCPs right now.
No, if you're near any body of water whatsoever after seeing this thing, it'll like if your bathtub is full of water, like
if you drink
if you go into it, you'll fucking teleport to that thing's like domain.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. You guys got to tell me which one this is.
I have no idea.
Hold on.
Comment down below what SCP we are talking about.
What the fuck are we talking about right now? Tell us right now in the comment section below.
I hate you.
Everybody downstairs in the comment section below, give us a like and a subscribe and tell us about this SCP in the comment
I
section.
hate
downstairs.
you so much.
Everybody downstairs in the comment section. Come on.
SCP creature. Alright, let's see.
I need you guys to watch the There Is No Anti-Memetics Division shit so we could talk about that.
I'm sure, absolutely. Next episode, definitely.
All right, we're watching that after we're done recording this then so we can prepare for next episode.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do a group viewing.
Fine with me.
Comment down below what you guys want us to talk about. Unironically.
Everybody comment down below.
No.
Aha, this is it.
Comment down
SCP.
below. Any SCPs, tales, groups of interest, fuck it.
Absolutely. We are doing this specifically just to have fun and have an excuse to talk about something that we enjoy. So like we're gonna keep doing it regardless, just for fun. And I don't know the
This
consistency
is
of it,
God's
but
most impromptu fucking recording
we
ever.
literally fucking said today. I shit you not. Like I was like, I have an idea. Like let me read the text that I sent. I can't yet. Like I gotta look at my phone for it. I sent Rami a text earlier today, and then I went to sleep because I've been super fucking sick.
We need to work on a project. You said something like that.
No, I said I have an idea for a project. Let me check it out. Nick was just here. He got caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, I got
That's so true.
I got annihilated by this.
So I said, Ramba, what are your thoughts on doing a project? Not a big one, something kind of shrimple. He said, I mean, sure. What's your idea? I'm in a good spot. RNTBH. I can do shit. And the best part about it is I sent my first message at 2:53, right? Rami sent his 3:43, so an hour later. And then I woke up at 6:28, and I said, sorry, just woke up. Was thinking about an SCP podcast. Pull up to 935, the server that we're currently in. And then we hopped in, and then Nick was in here, and I just started talking about it, and we were like, fuck it, let's just do it now. So that's the reason why it's so impromptu, and why there's not a whole lot of, like, talking specifically. I am going to do some cuts in the parts that are, like, a little bit more quiet, where we're not really talking as much, just to make it a little bit less awkward. But, I don't know, I've been wanting a project to do something like this for a while, and I just wanted to get something underneath my feet. I love the SCP Foundation. I'm not as knowledgeable as I'd like to be, but the Volgun has like brought a lot of like joy to my life from like listening to these and reading these, and so I'd like to, in a way, emulate that ideology. And it's not specifically just has to be the SCP Foundation, but I do love the SCP Foundation, and I would like to talk about it more so than most things. I'm not afraid of deriving or using derivatives of other things and going into deeper talks about certain things. But regardless, that's what we're doing right now. I believe Nick is talking to his brother currently. Hence the muted and the face cam off, which is mad respect, by the way.
Are you gonna like leave his Discord icon just showing like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Let's never provide context on it.
But yeah, so the SCP that Nick and I were talking about, that is one of my favorites as well, which, again, great reference to the Volgun. SCP-1128, the Aquatic Horror, fucking goated ass SCP. If you know what it looks like, if you know what it looks like, pretty much it can find you in any body of water whatsoever.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the description is it's a sea monster, and I'll pop up the description as well. It's a sea monster that only manifests to those who know its full appearance. It can attack subjects who are immersed in nearly any amount of water. The SCP cannot be caught due to the complicated location jumping nature of the creature. True appearance and origins of SCP-1128 are unclear. Descriptions of the SCP are meant to be limited or avoided entirely, as only those who know of SCP-1128's appearance will be attacked by it. Though it can be counteracted if the subject's memory is erased of that info, it is said to mostly resemble a gigantic shark. I'm just going to say one of the aliases...
Now you can tell me what it looks like? Fuck.
Yeah, one of the aliases is big-ass description redacted. By Dr. Redacted, which is so funny to me. That's a really good description.
Was the question earlier, what's your favorite marine SCP?
Absolutely.
4307, the
4307.
Electromarine Praetorian. He's just a cool guy. He's pretty chill. He just feeds off radiation.
Yeah?
He's it's not just one guy, it's like a species. They're like dinosaurs and they feed off radiation.
Uh-huh.
And they're chill. They're just like cool little guys. They're friendly. They don't really they don't hunt humans. They only attack if they're feeling threatened.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like cool little guys. I mean, they're not little, but they're cool little guys.
That was really cool. 27 entities belonging to the extinct Nothosaurus genus. Organisms are 4 meters long on average, although some specimens are recorded reaching 5 meters to 7 meters in length. Common sea life, primary consuming fish, however, specimens are observed human hunting large prey, including animals larger than themselves. Oh, they could do electromagnetic pulses like an eel.
Yeah, they feed off radiation and so they feed them X-rays. I think that's what they said they feed them.
Huh, that is interesting. I could look at the addendums later, but for now, I'm good. SCP-407 radiation testing. Ultraviolet, yeah, UV radiation. SCP-43078 was introduced into a testing chamber and subsequently exposed to a high concentration of UVA radiation through 2 black lights. After 45 minutes, SCP-43078 started to display bioluminescence around the head and neck. A school of fish was then released into a testing chamber. Upon SCP-43078 taking notice of their presence, it began charging up a pulse. Upon the release, the pulse manifested as a blue ray, fatally electrocuting fish in contact with it. Testing ended after 20 minutes of SCP-43078's repeating this behavior. Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. They're just little guys.
Yeah, they really are.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're chill.
Plenty of SCPs are just chill. Like,
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of like talk about whether the SP Foundation is the good guys or the bad guys, right? Depending on what group you want to be affiliated with, technically. I like
Yeah,
to
Gerald,
think
what group are you affiliated with?
I like to think in worlds of gray, right? When I'm watching as an outsider, right? I don't think the SCP or the good SP Foundation are the good guys necessarily or the bad guys. They tend to like try and live in the gray, not quite so black and white. I don't know if necessary
Yeah.
evil is the way to put it, but obviously there's
I
people
mean,
that
that's what the Foundation wants you to think.
yeah. Are you not a fan of the Foundation?
No, I'm not claiming.
Okay. What are your thoughts then?
You know, if they were real, I'd probably want to be a researcher there just because it's probably pretty fun.
I don't think I could do it for the sole fact that I could not knowingly do the things that they have done to certain people.
Alright, just take some amnestics. You'll forget about it in no time.
The one that fucks me up the most is the Children of the Red King.
The Scarlet King?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, the Children of the Scarlet King, excuse me. I cannot knowingly, like, that one is probably the ones that's like disgusted me the
Couldn't
most.
do the like the containment procedure.
I could do the containment procedure. I think I would genuinely commit suicide, unironically.
I think they'd probably reassign you before you did that.
Yeah, probably, but regardless, like,
What is the containment procedure for that one?
Oh God.
Do we want this video to get fucking censored? Yeah, sure,
Bro, do you
fuck it,
think
why
you
not?
have monetization in the first place?
No, I just don't want to get hit.
Just like do the SCP thing where it goes like
Yeah, redact it, Gerald. Redact that shit.
I might do so. So just in case whoever is watching this, right, you have some squeamish to certain things, right? Fucking A, spoiler warning, and B, fucking trigger warning. This shit's fucked up. It will really mess with you. I have warned you beforehand. So, are you familiar with what the Scarlet King is, Nick?
To a point, yes.
So, we're not going to go too in depth to what the Scarlet King is. But the children of the Red King, I don't know how to describe it in a way that's not as fucked up as it could be. So
I know about them to a certain point as well. I saw something about whenever the Scarlet King fought the Gate Guardian.
Yeah.
For whatever SCP the big gate to Eden is.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
The Children of the Scarlet King aren't really the SCP themselves. They're the organization that are trying to bring about the return of the Scarlet King.
Okay.
And the SCP in question is a female between certain ages of redacted amount that is pregnant. This one really fucks with me.
want to send it to me so I can read it instead of you having to tell me. It's okay.
Well, I've already talked about it, so might as well continue. Basically, I don't know exactly how they impregnated these girls, right? I don't know their age, but the children of the Scarlet King impregnated these women with the supposed children, right, of the Scarlet King or some entity that is supposed to represent the Scarlet King in some form. And if these Scarlet King children ever come about, they cause great destruction. Like, it's horrific, right? So the only way to contain these entities, right, is to basically force a killing of the child on repeat, but the woman will always get re-impregnated over and over again every day. So pretty much this girl, for the rest of her life, is just tortured and forced to carry this out because it's the only way to really contain it. Because if she dies, the kid gets born anyways.
Damn.
So they have to kill the kid before it's born, but it comes back regardless. So it is probably the most fucked up one I can think of. And it's procedure 110 Montauk. And if you want to do some more research on it, you absolutely can for the viewers. But again, this is some really fucked up shit. It is the most disgusting thing I've read on SCP in general, personally for me. But hey, man, SCP isn't exactly for the weak of heart. It's a very fucked up world of stuff, but it's also very cool for that reason, right? There's a lot of interesting things about it. There's a lot of fucked up things about it. Not meant to discourage those that would like to get into it. But you have to take the good with the bad as well, is kind of my opinion on the subject matter, if that makes any sense.
I mean,
I
with
mean-
every like child killing procedure that has to happen in order to not carry out the end of the world, there's also SCP-999, which is just fucking the
Mhm.
chillest little guy possible.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely, right?
He just
Yeah.
He's
wants
just a little
to
guy.
tickle you.
Yeah.
he wants to be your little buddy, man.
Little guy, you
I
know?
called him. I played SCPRP on one of the Gmod servers that Rami was on one time, and he would come around and I would just yell as a D class. I'd go, "The fucking cheese! Get the cheese in here!" Dude.
The fucking cheese. Robin, what's got you thinking?
Not much.
Correct me if I was wrong on anything that I was saying, by the way.
I mean, you got like most of the idea. You just explained it in a convoluted way.
If you could refine that.
The females you're speaking of are SCP 231-1 through -7.
Mm-hmm.
-7 specifically being the one that is on a hospital bed with an IV drip and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Scarlet King, like, yeah, they do procedure 110 Montauk to keep him under control and stuff. But like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this one.
It is the reason why I cannot.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
I don't really think it's that crazy, though. I mean, it's not cool by any means, but it's by far not that gory.
I mean, we don't know the age of this girl, but we can assume she's not very old. And so it's like,
I mean,
She will-
clearly of childbearing age.
she will eternally be. Well, we don't know. It's SCP, right? She will
I
eternally be
guess
tortured for the rest of her
so.
existence, right? She'll be kept alive forever if they can. And just tortured and then remove her memories every single day. Because the way they kill it is, if I'm not mistaken, they fucking basically take a hammer to her fucking stomach, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that what they do?
What is
That's
the
fucking
exact
gross.
procedure? Does it talk about procedure Montauk in this?
In what? In which one? There's this guy has multiple different articles related to him.
Hold on. Procedure 110 Montauk. Let me look up the exact procedure. Um,
They say, okay, maybe it is pretty bad. They say procedure 110 Montauk is as horrible as you've heard, which is why only Class D personnel are authorized to carry it out.
yeah.
Yes, it does involve brutal redacted.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is pretty bad.
Whatever it is, very not good. And that's one of the
Um,
reasons why I can't be too on the side of the Foundation personally, right? It's like they work in lines of gray, absolutely, and some things are necessary. But to me, there should be no compromises in certain things, right? Like that's just
there should be no compromises. All right, what would you do?
fucking deal.
What do you
Figure it
mean?
out like they've always done. Not take the easiest way
I
out.
think that, I mean, I think
It's
they're
there's a
figuring it
difference
out. I think
between
that's
taking
the
the easiest
point.
way out and like taking the only way out. Like that, I don't feel like that's the easiest way.
At least find a way to let her die. Maybe take her to a different dimension and just like kill
Well,
her there.
the but the whole point is that they're continuously trying to figure out how to stop it.
Hmm.
Like
They're not just
there's a
sitting and letting it happen.
whole paragraph here. No, we have not given up on trying to save 231-7, but research in that field must be carried out with the utmost caution based on the increased potency of each subsequent blank event associated with each subsequent SCP blank specimen. There's a strong possibility that 231-7's blank event could result in an XK class end of the world scenario.
Yeah,
That'd be
I
pretty
know, but it
bad.
still
That'd be
fucks me
pretty
up,
bad.
bro. I know. It just still fucks me up. Like, to be completely honest, that shit is just.
I mean, it's understandable why it fucks you up, but
Mm,
at the same time, it's kind of the only way that they know how, and they're not just letting it happen without doing any research for it.
mm-hmm,
And that's why I'm like, okay, this is an understandable thing that we have to do
mm-hmm.
in order to not have in order to have the time to do the research needed to find a way other than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely understand. If you're still.
There's definitely some other SCPs with some pretty crazy containment
There's a
procedures.
lot of really crazy containment procedures, bro. There's a lot.
Yeah.
What's the. What's the one about the fucking pig creatures? What are they called? It's not the
Dude, I
aristocrats.
don't know what you're
It's
talking
the
about.
um I'd like to see what they're called again. I can't remember, but pretty much like they have to be continually grinded. And if any of like the skin or whatever like falls to the ground, like you have to like burn it in order to like not let them like replicate or grow again. I can't remember the exact name of them, but fucking odd little things, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about,
Hmm.
honestly.
Oh wait,
Um,
I know which one we're talking about next one. By the way, we're doing an entire episode on it.
all
SCP
right.
3166.
I don't know what that is
Let's
off the top of my head. I don't want to move too far away from this topic of containment procedures, though,
No, I know. I just
because I have one that I want to talk about.
absolutely.
Yeah, so there's this one, 1746. You know, we can talk about like all these like dark containment procedures that like hurt people but save others and stuff. This one's just like strange and comical.
Oh shit.
SCP 1746 is an anomalous and extremely violent storm pattern. It just kind of like starts up and it's like really bad lightning and hurricane force winds and giant pieces of hail and like F5 class storms, multiple concurrent F5 class storms, right? Bad weather.
Mm-hmm.
And so to make sure this weather doesn't happen, they have to perform this complex procedure, protocol 1746-Aleph, and this procedure um requires, I'm going to tell you the requirements for this. You have to have 2 qualified helicopter pilots, right? We're starting off pretty tame. 4 construction engineers, 2 qualified surveyors, and 7 trained actors. And we'll get into these actors,
Actors.
right? Actor 1 is a male that has to be at least 66 kilograms in mass. Actor 2 is a male at least 50 kilograms in mass, belonging to Y chromosome haplogroup 03. Next one, male at least 105 kilograms in mass, left leg amputated above the knee with a blood alcohol content of at least 0.25% at the time of performance. Actor 4, male at least 56 kilograms in mass, maximum age 34, belonging to Y chromosome haplogroup R1A. Actor fucking what is this, 5, female, mass irrelevant with full urinary bladder. Actor 6, female, mass between 58 and 62 kilograms, pregnant, first trimester, wearing cosmetics meeting the specifications listed in the document. And then the last one, female, maximum mass 24.5 kilograms, who is a lineal descendant of actor male 4, engaged in the protocol application. We're not done yet. We're not quite done yet. There's 2 more requirements. One of them is a squirrel wrangler, and the other one is 2 live female eastern gray squirrels. And now this sounds pretty crazy, right? This sounds pretty crazy. And I hope to God you put that all up on screen so that people can read along with me.
Sure.
What what they do with this is they drive them all out there, and through some somewhat complicated procedures that have to be done in very precise ways. Like, they have to be in a field where there's Kentucky bluegrass cut to between 7 and 9 centimeters, and there has to be a female willow tree nearby, and they have to have 2 cars, one of which is a Buick Wildcat with leaded gasoline. The other one's a Dodge Dart, that's got to be driven at a specific speed, playing Till There Was You, original cast recording.
Is this like Twister or some shit?
And sure, Twister if it was cool. And they gotta give the fucking girl an ice cream, and then yada
Which
yada
fucking girl?
yada. The fucking little girl, the last one I mentioned.
Okay.
And in one of the like times when they tried this, it failed because the squirrel stole the fucking ice cream.
Why does it work? What contains it?
They don't fucking know why it works. So the pattern appeared over a city, and then it disappeared all of a sudden. They're like, wait, why did this disappear? And so they studied it, and they found all these people in these specific ways, and they've just recreated it every time to make sure it happens.
What the hell?
They don't fucking know why.
Okay, I guess. Like, that's just one of those scenarios where you're like, fuck it. Okay.
Nobody really gets hurt in doing that. It's just like very hyper specific. And that's kind of the comedy of that SCP, I think, is that hyper specificity. It's just so bizarre. Like, the first time I read it, I had the same reactions as you guys. I was like, what the fuck is this about?
That's just wild, dude.
It's funny though.
It's
funny,
fucking
though.
hilarious. I love that. I will definitely do the description thing.
How long are we into this recording, by the way?
We are currently at 58 minutes and 22 seconds. Are we going to call it an hour? Well,
yeah, that was kind of the idea.
I guess we'll start the outro. If anyone does end up watching this, I'm sorry for the convoluted nature of this production or whatever.
Yeah, this
right?
one was fucking.
We
were literally talking about this shit, and then I was like, dude, let's just start fucking recording. This is
we just wanted to talk about shit that we thought was cool, to be honest. This isn't an in-person thing, and that's how it goes, right? We all live in different places. We all have different lives and stuff. This is just a fun little thing that we wanted to do. An excuse to talk about SCP or our passions.
I don't know if I would call your basement a different place. I mean, your walls even. Your attic. I'm kind of all over the place, you could say.
I'll be all over you.
I live in the walls. I live in your walls.
All right.
Yo, you quit rizzing, dumbass. The fuck you doing?
You should cut it on that.
Probably. All right, thank y'all for watching. This was fun. We will continue to do this at some point.
Follow my Instagram.
Catch you later. Bye.
I didn't even tell them what my Instagram was.
Tell them your Instagram, I guess, dude. Go for it.
Dude, follow me on Instagram, Aurora Rami. I take photos.
Okay.
Doxing himself on
Well,
internet.
yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you later. Bye.
It's a public